Alright, Hero Comics here. On the next episode of Transgender Hate Mail, Homosexual Hate Mail, Atheist Hate Mail. Basically, we react to a bunch of screen caps on YouTube and DeviantArt. There are response comments. I may get to TV myself and a few other things. Trigger warning if you don't like what I'm saying. Go ahead, click off the video and go watch something else. Do not online saves hate speech by videos because there is no hate speech by videos. It's feature hate list of a story. I'm trying to be quiet because my brother and my mother are in the other rooms. Yeah, they're hanging out. And I have to keep my door open because I have an air conditioner, and we're trying to get air condition my room and have the air go out, cold air go out through the hall into my mom's room. My brother has his air conditioner on, I'm trying to have his cold air go out. So yeah, it definitely is an interesting setup right now, but we're working on it. It's a work in progress. Just like the house. Yeah, so we're continuing to do this stuff. But yeah, here's the issue also. Right now, I am stuck with using these little earbuds because I had to fix up my headphones. The cool thing is they're repairable, so because I made it that way. So yeah, I gotta actually bought. I bought the speakers for them for pretty low price, like $12 for 4 of them. It took over a good month or so to get here. So yeah, it was like from Chinese or some other far away country, but it cost less. So that's nice. And then I put them all together and got them going. So that's nice. But yeah, right now I need to actually repair them so they'll work better. But until then, we're stuck. So let's see, what's that? Trigger warning, like I was saying, go ahead, click up the video, go watch something else. Don't always have hate speech videos because there's a hate speech, there's feature hate, that's your story. Let's continue on. People give these wrong. These comment sections to me, try to trade around versus the base biology. And they can take off about that after some not safe for work fan art. I'll go try to speak at the microphone more. See, that's not the way it goes. So I'm going to try to speak at the microphone more. Like this, we have, yes, this cute Batman villain girl, Mary Doll. Mary Doll was a girl, a villain from the show. She was a very interesting case because her deal was that she her body started growing when she was a child, but she kept on getting older, kind of like a Webster or Gary Coleman type of thing going on. And yeah, she basically, in ways, I think probably was inspired by Webster and Gary Coleman and actually there was a female, like a little person who also probably inspired her because she basically was. Did young children roles and other things like that, because basically she looked like a kid. She looks very young, but she's all grown up, and yeah, they really like her on here. They like her on here a lot. Yeah, she went off a lot of stuff. You see here with Killer Croc. Oh my gosh, that's definitely a crazy one. Oh my gosh, this thing's almost as big as she is. Oof. And then, of course, they do grown up body versions of her. Look very nice as well. That's really nice. But of course, her at Canon size is also super cute. So there you go. Oh yeah. My goodness, she is so cute and grumpy. My goodness. Let's continue on with some hate mail. Where are we here? The hate mail. Yeah. Also, I got this shirt. For a good, I think $5 or so. Yeah. Usually I wear black, but I'm gonna try to mix it up a little bit. I like wearing black mostly. Let's continue on here. Insomniac Wolverine Game Comments Part 1. Let's see here. I say, man, I hope this game will be okay. You have a Sweet Baby and Insomniac making a video game about a white male superhero. They can mess it up real quick. Frowny face emoji. Unsure emoji. Yeah, here's the issue. The Insomniac Wolverine game coming out, I know now, is going to fail. Because just like with Suicide Squad, just like with Insomniac Spider-Man 2, it's it's going to be Sweet Baby Incorporated and friends hating on a white male superhero. Just like with Spider-Man, with Peter Parker Spider-Man, just like with Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, and Flash. Kind of. Green Lantern is black, but still, they hated on him because he was working with white people and trying to stop criminals. So, yeah, which is interesting because I think Sweet Baby are criminals themselves. So, yeah, there you go. They would hate on him for that. So, yeah, and Wonder Woman, they got a bonus win with Wonder Woman, yeah. So, yeah, now we're going to have these people making a Wolverine game, and already I saw, as I said before, Wolverine looks like he's having trouble controlling his rage, and someone's going to be saying, yeah, you're too violent, Wolverine, You should chill. You should relax. I'm like, ugh. So man, telling me you don't know or care about the character when you, without saying you don't know or care about the character. Just like Batman is like, oh yeah, he's a loser who punches things, punches dudes, people. That's what he does. He loves to punch things. Oh yeah, he does like to punch things, but that's not the reason. He does not all about him punching things. It's about him stopping people from killing people. And it's like, yeah, you hardly basically lecture him. For causing physical and emotional damage to people, everyone he knows. It's hilarious. And I'm hoping they'll do the same thing with, most likely we'll do the same thing with Wolverine, because it'll be hilarious. Just like they love to do. It'll be so hilarious and wrong. That game will fail miserably. And it'll help out with PlayStation's all digital future they're going to come up with, which will have all full control, but no customers. Yeah. Anyway, this person says, Insomniac hasn't done anything wrong to discredit them as a company. Sounds like you're watching too much crybaby content. And I say, except for the gay flags, the deaf girl that looks like Kim Belair that you were forced to play as, and making Peter Parker weak and retire at the end. And the Scream boss fight. The nagging Scream boss fight. Trying to mess around, say that Suicide Squad Kill Justice League is part of the Arkham series, but it's not. Wasting over a year. No, that's a different group, different person. That's not Insomniac. The Sweet Baby is involved in that. Wasting so much money, wasting so much time, so much effort. What the heck? This game would have been, these games, woke games should never be a live service. Never ever. Just make them all single player offline games. So they can come out, fail, and go. That's what they need to be doing. So you guys, let's get to you on here. Retire. Integral seal video comments part 1. So instance, other seals are like, well, he'll never get me. Oh, he went past me. He's war cry. Julius. That was about the most dramatic capture it could have been. Julius, why does this keep happening to me? They call him Julius because he had what looked like a royal collar around his neck. That royal collar is basically a shirt or cloth or some other, or fishing gear around his neck. So they wanted to get that off of him. Netting, something like that. They wanted to get that off of him as soon as possible so it doesn't get choked to death by that stuff. So that's why he's asking, why is that happening to me? When people ask me why I'm always picking up garbage. Thanks for the work you do. Heart emoji, Australia. Red Heart emoji, Australia. Denzel sees Julius, which makes him the Julius Caesar. I'll see myself out. That's so good. Julius tries to make a fashion statement. Humans, I think not. How much time do I have? Got a little time. Let's go. Iron Man 2 versus Iron Man 3 Hate Mail Part 1. And I say Iron Man 2 was good, but it was so much happening in the movie. Iron Man 1 was the best out of the 3. The less said about Iron Man 3, the better. Sunglasses emoji. Gotta like for that. Someone says Iron Man 3 was the best. 2 was effing horrible. And I say strike that and reverse it. And Iron Man 2, he got War Machine. Iron Man 3, he lost several Iron Man suits, and Tony threw that arc reactor to his chest into the ocean. I saw that. Angry face emoji. Sorry. It was directed by a different person who wanted to show off that Tony was more than just his suit, which he already established in Iron Man 1, And it's just like, let's do it for everything for comedy purposes instead of cool stuff. The awesome cool stuff we have. Were there cool moments in Iron Man 3? Yes, but it was just like you destroyed so much. You ruined so much. It's not fun. And then it's like, oh yeah, somehow Pepper now has extremists, and somehow she's able to flip around, even though we never saw her train. There's no mention of anything. Suddenly, girl can just flop around and punch through Iron Man suits. Fly around, punch through Iron Man suits. Maybe if she could, the extremists to help with punch through Iron Man suits, but the training though, there was no training. Come on. Let's go. And then someone says, Hero Comics, Iron Man 3 has Rhodey too. Yeah, and he gets beaten up. It was a horrible thing. The Iron American, what was that? I'm trying to figure out. Iron Patriot. Yeah, Iron Patriot suit, which looked cool, but it got totally destroyed. Totally beaten. Not even destroyed. It was just knocked out. You got to basically forced out of it in 5 seconds. And then he basically, again, they try to say, oh, Rhodey's more than he, that he then is more than just his suit. I'm like, yeah, that's nice, but you know, we just got the suit. We just got Iron Man suit. Oh, like, no. So I don't care about the suits. I care about the suit. I care about the people inside of them. Iron Man 2 is such a convoluted. Show less. Such a convoluted. That's how I into the sentence. Yeah, it was convoluted. It was definitely was. Because there was a lot. They tried to introduce Black Widow too, and the Nick Fury and stuff. It was a lot going on in that thing. And I say 2 was pretty convoluted, but it's about Iron Man stuff, not regular guy stuff. Iron Man 3 was about drama between Tony Pepper and Killian and a slapdick with crappy Iron Man suits. It insults Iron Man, and I don't like that. I say angry face emoji. Then someone says, "No Iron Man without Tony." Yeah, obviously, but again, he's like, "I'm not gonna be Iron Man anymore." No. It was a good story that made him improvise without the suit. He had done that in Iron Man 1. We didn't need to see that again. I'd like to see him improvise with the suit. Oh. I don't give a F about the suits, just RDJ. And I say, and this versus Iron Man 3 actually has more Iron Man than Iron Man 2 does. And I say, well, I like that he made the suits to fight things people. I like that he made the suits to fight things people could not fight without suits. We're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. Yeah, because I'm sorry. You need the suit. There were evil human torches running around, punching people to death. What's Kevlar going to do against that? Nothing. It's going to just punch right through him, So you need the Iron Man suit. Sorry. You need it. They were like, no, let's have Tony. Let's have Tony just be running around and not in the Iron Man suit. Or else. We're like, yeah, not cool. Yes, there was more Iron Man and Tony Leonardo because, of course, they were trying in Iron Man 3 because they were trying to establish Black Widow and other stuff like that. But still, things didn't feel like they were being clowned. But one of the cool things I could say is that the bleeding edge armor came about after Mark 42 came out and failed, like Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and Marathon will. So I'm very glad about that. And I say, is fat shaming a movie? Is this fat shaming a fat shaming movie? Comments part 1. And I say she's not fat, she's curvy. So this is a version of Chicken Little Disney didn't want us to see. Chicken Little got a W glow up though. Gorda. I can't with his hand gestures too. Gorda. Yeah, Gorda means fat in Spanish. Came with his hand gesture too, skull face emojis. Chicken Little, the comeback. Oh yeah, the Hispanic, what's it called? Fight. This is Saber Spark talking about the Hispanic, animated movie where these chickens were in ultimate. These anthropomorphic chickens were in ultimate fighting. Okay, so they were doing ultimate fighting. His dad, he had this little dude and looked like Chicken Little, and this cute girl, female chicken, hanging out together, and basically this silly chubby chicken hanging out as their friend, frenemy basically, bully turned friend. And his dad is like an ultimate fighter, an MMA guy, and he's fighting him. He's fighting in the MMA match, and he basically was approached by a sleazy mobster dude who was like, yeah, you work for me, or you take a dive, or whatever, and I'll make sure you're handsomely rewarded, or whatever. He wouldn't take a dive, so he had another fighter poison him, and then basically it's like poison him, and then like he died, and then the son is like, oh no, Dad, I'm gonna get revenge. I know it's that monster that poisoned you and caused you to die. So then it's like, okay. So he trains and becomes an ultimate fighter himself. So then he's like, yeah, I poisoned him too. So then he's able to stop that from happening, I guess, and beat him and defeat the monster, defeat the evil ultimate fighter chicken cheater guy, and win and stuff. But during that thing, you see the girl, female chicken. She grew up and got hot. He grew up and got all big and strong like his dad. She grew up and got all kinds of hot. But of course, the Frenemy and others were like calling her fat, because that's because they wanted to assault her. But because she's trying to hang out and be with the little chicken dude, you know. And he's like, I'm looking at that like, yeah, that's me. But the interesting thing also is she's able to fight too. You know, she's not allowed to the males only MMA match, which makes sense. She would get destroyed, but she was able to fight too. She was actually able to take down the chubby frenemy dude who was making fun of her. So that was nice. But yeah, it was an interesting thing. They go all the Chicken Little because they look like Chicken Little characters. Chicken Little the comeback. This ain't USV, that's KFC. Good one. All right, see you guys next time. Check me out on YouTube and DeviantArt.